You ever meet somebody and think, I don't know what this guy's been through, but it must have been a ride? Well, that's Robbie Chadbourne. Robbie's got one of those smiles that tells you he's seen some things. The kind of past where the plot twists weren't exactly legal or smart. Addiction, bad choices, consequences that came with their own set of metal bars. Robbie's lived it all. But the man standing here now, well, that's a different story. Welcome to On the Couch with Robbie Chadbourne, where real men talk real life, real struggle, and real redemption. It's raw enough to matter, funny enough to keep you watching, and hopeful enough to remind you there's no such thing as too far gone. So kick back and relax. Robbie's got stories, and he's ready to share them.
Hey, Robbie. How's it going?
All right, Mike. How you doing?
Doing good, brother. Good. Hey, so we put this thing together, right?
Oh, yeah.
And what I want to do is kind of do a video today. Number one, kind of share who Robbie Chadbourne is, right. And also where did this whole thing come from?
Yeah.
You know. And so, if I could, first thing I want to talk about is when I first met you, Robbie. And I remember distinctly thinking, man, who is this guy? Because I've never met someone that immediately I begin to trust. And you just had that, I don't know what it is, a persona about you that I just trusted you. And so as we've kind of gotten to know each other, through Nexus and some stuff, it was like one night I was just sitting there and the Lord gave me this vision. You just need to start something with Robbie, and we're going to call it, Robbie, On the Couch with Robbie Chadbourne.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
And so come out of the Nexus Men's Group, the Better Man Group.
And I remember thinking, okay, I've got to talk to Robbie, and I remember asking you about it.
Yeah, that's right.
So I hope this video, what this does is kind of help people understand what it is we're trying to do. So what we want to do first is obviously find out who is Robbie Chadbourne, right? Why do we want to listen to Robbie Chadbourne on the couch?
Right.
So I've had the opportunity to speak with you, Robbie, learn your testimony, and so I just kind of want to go over it tonight so others can find out who Robbie is.
Right. Yeah.
So most people today that see you, Robbie, wouldn't know where you've come from. They wouldn't know.
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, people today can't even imagine me ever being in trouble. I've been told that. And there's people on the other side of the state that can't imagine me praying for somebody. So
So two different
two different worlds. Yeah, absolutely.
People. So you didn't grow up in chaos, right? You told me, but something was always brewing under the surface with you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I had a lot of anger when I was young. I mean, I was a happy-go-lucky person as a kid, but I was always getting hurt. Always had stitches. I mean, a lot of stitches. Broken bones, broken neck, and then that turned into anger. Oh, and I was 10 or 12 years old, and then when I got mad, I couldn't quit, but that's how it was showed. That the more anger you showed, the more you cared about something. Mm-hmm. I didn't know how a man of God was supposed to be for sure, but that's when it started, and then at 14, I started drinking.
Okay, well, let's talk about the anger, right? Because that's really where this thing starts, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Is the anger. So the early warning signs you shared with me were drinking started young, you were fighting, that became normal, enjoyed intensity and adrenaline. So what kind of things when you started drinking, what kind of things were going on in Robbie's life?
I was just trying to have fun, did a lot of hunting and fishing in the middle of that. And as soon as we got done with ball practice, we'd go right to drinking and trying to be the life of the party, and just was that way anyway, Seemed like things gathered around me, so I wanted to be the most interesting and the happiest, and that caused the drinking and smoking, and but I was very popular, very good at sports, you know what I mean? I graduated and went to college, played basketball and baseball, had it made, really.
So this was all pretty innocent though, right? I mean, this wasn't Robbie going from a good kid to a bad kid right away.
Oh, not at all.
This is pretty innocent. You're just with your friends, drinking, doing your thing, trying to have fun, right? Okay, so you weren't broken yet.
Oh, no.
But you were headed somewhere, right?
Oh, yeah,
and that's
wrong way.
Yep, and that's where you want to get. So at what point did fun start turning into something else, do you think?
I would say I was in my 20s, early 20s, and I decided one day I was going to smoke a joint. And I couldn't tell you why. I mean, I had a good life. Nothing drove me to drugs. I just decided I was going to smoke a joint. And that joint, I got high as a kite, and then we got to having fun, and that turned into coke, And then it was a path of destruction of working 16-hour shifts and wanting to hunt and fish. Got married, and that was all the way I could do it, was do coke or meth.
So we're talking about now we're on the slide into addiction.
Oh yeah, hard. Going into it, very hard.
And so alcohol led to drugs. And you wouldn't say you were forced it, right? Nobody
No, I
forced you to
wasn't
do it.
forced at all, not at all.
So it was curiosity more kind of drove the appetite then
Yeah.
for this. You were curious. And you're still working, still producing,
Oh,
right?
yeah, all the time.
And functioning, right?
Function.
So now we're going to kind of look at the more serious angle of this then. So the anger worsened with the drugs. And then relationships were strained, life centered around what? Using and recovering, right?
Yeah.
So what would you say, then where did it go from there?
So I had my son. I got married, had my son, and I realized that I just couldn't do it no more.
Mm-hmm.
But where I was at, I couldn't get off the meth, so I was asleep, and they woke me up with a straw in my nose. As I woke up and took my first breath, I snorted a line of meth. So I knew I couldn't get out of it, but I knew the anger was so out of control, and I was being so emotionally abusive to my wife, and that I was going to die, and I couldn't get away from it there. So I packed up, I bought my wife a car, got her a job, got her a place to live, and I left her and my son. I told him I'd be back in 6 weeks. And I drove till it quit snowing, and it was in Florida when it quit snowing.
So you left your wife and kids, or wife and son at this time.
Yeah.
So what drove you to leave them? Was this you were looking for more work, or was it just?
I was trying to get healed. It was the first time I knew I had a problem, and I couldn't get away from it where I was, and I was running from my problem to try to get better.
So this pit that you fell into took
yeah.
you pretty quickly then.
Oh yeah, within 2 years I went from normal, not a godly man, but normal, to a full-blown addict.
Wow.
I mean, stay up 7, 8, 9 days, never eat, smoke 4-pack of cigarettes a day, drink all night long, and work 12 hours a day or better.
So what drove you then to feel like you needed to heal? You needed to, was it just the love of your son?
Oh, no, not at all. We ate some acid one night, and me and my wife got into it, and I banged her head off the truck.
Mm.
And I told her I would never lay a hand on her, and I did it because of that, because not only did I need to heal, but I didn't want to ever do that to them again. I mean, I'd made that promise. So I got out of the life to try to change my life.
And you knew you had to get away from them so you
Yeah, I
didn't hurt
couldn't
them?
do it. Yeah.
Were you worried about hurting them?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I never laid a hand on my son, but I wasn't a good dad at all. Even at the age of 1, he wasn't quite 1, but I had no patience, and I partied all the time. That was all I did, and I drug her into it too. It was a horrible deal.
So did she become an addict as well?
Oh yeah, she became an addict. I ruined her life.
So you were in Florida, and you'd been away from your wife and son for a while now. Did you clean up, or did you stop doing the drugs?
I did everything but pot. I still smoked pot. I didn't drink. I didn't do any meth. Got that clean. 6 weeks back, I went and got my son back and took him back to Florida. And then I got the opportunity to go to Alaska to fly in above the North Slope, or at the North Slope, right below it, and fly in, and I couldn't even get pot there. So I did 113 days straight there, 12-hour shifts.
Wow.
And when I come out of there, I still had not been on a date, and it had been a year at that point. And I was still trying to heal myself, I got into working out. I wasn't reading the Bible though, but I was trying to get back to the person I was when I was a kid.
Well, when you said you weren't reading the Bible, were you a believer at this time?
Well, I believed in God. I mean, I didn't understand God, but I believed there was a God.
Did you have a church background as you were a kid?
Yeah, I went to church when I was a kid every Sunday till one day, my dad wasn't going. I didn't see why I had to go. So I didn't go.
Okay. So
we cut wood instead,
Yeah. So now you got into this addiction. You left your wife and child. You go back and you get your son because you're clean now.
Oh yeah.
You go to Alaska. You're working steady up there. You're doing everything. You're still not using drugs. Maybe smoking pot.
No, I didn't. Not even that. Then I quit everything.
Okay, so you were done.
Yeah,
with that.
I was done.
So what brings you back to the lower 48?
My son. So I come out of up there working the summer, and flew with a guy and ended up going in and building roads out of ice on the north slope of Alaska. So I'd work 3 weeks on, 3 weeks off. And every time I'd come home, everybody kept telling me, you gotta get your son out of that. It's a bad place. You gotta get him out of there. And I couldn't, this is 1996. At this point, men didn't get custody of their kids. Plus, at this point, I was doing really good. I was smoking pot when I was home, but that was it. And I'd drink some, but I would party on my way home for 2 days, drinking and smoking pot. And then I'd get home and take care of my son the rest of the time. The other 2.5 weeks. So I thought I was doing it. I got to life now, you know what I mean? I'm taking care of my kid. I'm trying to get straight. I still haven't gone on a date. That went on for another year. And still hadn't went on a date. Finally, I met a lady. We went out a couple times. I rode to Texas with her and back. My lawyer kept telling me to get custody of my son. He kept asking me if I had a wife. You got a wife, you got a wife, you got a wife. And so he said, as soon as you get a wife, we'll get custody. So I asked her to marry me 2 months into it. And I called him and I said, I got a wife. He said, we're going to court. So I got custody of him then.
So we can understand that probably not fell in love with her and asked her to marry you. This was simply for custody.
I mean, I enjoyed her. It was a lust thing, you know what I mean? Still wasn't biblical at all. But it was a lust thing, and I thought it would work out, and I just had to get my son out of there, and I thought it would work. And I was wrong.
So now, did you marry her then? You married her, got custody of your son?
Yeah.
So, to go into the next level now, I think at one point you told me that someone had offered you to
smoke foil.
Smoke foil.
Yeah.
Which is
smoke foil. Yeah.
Which explain what is smoke foil.
All right, so that's meth, crystal meth, or crank, or whatever you want to call it, and you put it on a foil and you light it and melt it and smoke it. So it's speed. That's what it is, but it's long lasting, and it took me right back. I mean, I went right straight so that was probably 4 years of just smoking pot. 6, 7, 8 years. So the son was 11, 12, and it just took me right back. And I wanted it. That urge was there again, and I fought it for a couple of years. I mean, I still did it some, but not very much. Okay. But the anger come instantly back.
So you do this, and then you went to jail.
Yeah, went to jail for spilling tea on my grandmother. So of all the things I did, I mean, I've been in jail several times, for violent offenses, fighting in bars, and I poured tea on my grandmother in a fight because she thought I meant to spill tea on her and I didn't. So then I did, like a dummy. And ended up going to jail for spilling tea. And in that, I ended up doing a year in the county, and they was trying to take me to prison because that made me a violent offender because she was elderly abuse.
So you're in prison, or you're in jail.
Yeah, in jail.
And you're looking at prison time.
8.5 years.
8.5 years. So now this time in jail, you're in jail, you're worried about coming out of jail and going to prison, so that's on your mind.
Oh, yeah.
So what else is happening in jail?
So in jail, I'm trying to straighten up, because at this point, I thought I didn't really want to do drugs no more. I was done, really. But people would listen to me, try to make them better people, but I wasn't trying to get them off the dope. So I was thinking that I wasn't quitting the dope because I was trying to make better people, so I was kicking the devil in the nards every time. And I would tell them that, I'm like, every time you do something, you do this drug and you do something good, you kick the devil right in the nards, And while I'm in jail, I'm telling them stories, and then I get done, I'm thinking, God didn't have me on dope. That don't sound right. That was slick, man. I mean, holy cow. I mean, that 10 years prior, that whole 10 years was about that. That was my whole reason of not quitting. And that's when God, he was working on me hard right then. So then I was arguing with myself. I got a cabin in the woods, me and Spanky here. We'd been living off the grid in the middle of 12,000 acres in a cabin in the woods for a year while they chased me. And I still had dope in the cabin. So at this point, I'm still trying to think if I'm going back to that and going back to the dope and proving to everybody that you can be a good person in that. And they trusted me there. I was remodeling the courthouse, being able to walk outside, do anything I wanted. They knew I wouldn't run off. And then my buddy drove by and he come up and he could tell something was wrong. And I asked him, I said, so what's wrong? He said, well, if you knew something about somebody and they couldn't do nothing about it, would you tell them? I said, well, just tell me. He said, well, they burnt your cabin and your truck. And that was the biggest relief I've ever had in my life, because God took everything that was making me undecisive, and he just took it just like that. It was gone. And I knew right then I was done. And I was done. And I smiled at him. I'm like, well, right on, dude. I mean, it makes me happy today. I mean, that was it.
Did you get drugs in this cabin?
Oh, yeah, drugs and dope pit all over there. And
it's all gone.
It's all gone.
So now you're in jail. You got nowhere to go after because it's all gone.
Oh, yeah.
What happens?
So that's 8 months in. They still haven't decided if they're sending me to the pen. So I'm getting out on February 5th, supposed to. In January, they decide, the next county comes up and they send a paper in, and they're still sending me to prison. And I'd had a court case through there. Supposedly I wasn't going to go to prison, so I just agreed to everything. And in that, there was a federal court case. So he read the papers off. He said, well, you're going to prison. He said, when you leave here on the 5th of February, you're going to Iron County. Iron County sent me straight.
And I think you told me that scared you.
Oh, yeah, it scared living daylights out of me, man. And the old me would have thrown a fit. So for the first time in my life, I went to prayer instantly. I had my own office in the jail. It was crazy. And I go back there and I sit down and I started praying, you know, and there was a prayer that Joyce Myers had said that we trust right now in you, Lord, to build our trust in you. And I just kept praying that and kept praying it and kept praying. I give to your will, Lord. Please give me peace to your will. I don't want to go to prison. I hope it's not it, but if it's your will, that's what it is. And 45 minutes I prayed. And I quit. I got peace. I went up and sat in the office. And after that, he called. They hadn't talked to the judge yet because he called the county. The jailer had a good friend of mine. And we sat up there and we talked. And then the phone rang. He's on me, man. Kevin, if you're watching this, dude, you're on her, dude. And he goes, hey, he said, oh, yeah. Yeah, he's right here. Well, oh, man. Oh, okay. And he hangs up the phone. Well, I'm wilted, man. I think
your heart stopped.
I'm going to prison. Oh, my gosh. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I mean, I just don't want to go. And he looked at me. He said, well, that was Judge. Said she never made a mistake before, but she did this time. You're going home February 5th.
Wow, nice.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know whether to punch him or hug him, dude. I was crying. Oh my gosh, so the first time in my life God had shown me that faith to the end. To have that, just give it to him no matter what, that he would protect you. You know, first time I'd ever put myself in prayer instead of throwing that fit. And I believe today if I'd have thrown the fit, I would still be in prison.
Okay. So real quick, we want to get to, you in prison, you meet a woman, she kind of leads you to Christ.
Yeah, my best friend's mom. Wouldn't give up on me. Best woman I've ever met. I mean, the most amazing godly woman I've ever met in my life. Showed me what unconditional love was. And I learned from that. And then I got out, I came straight to Warrensburg. And out here with my sister on a Monday. On Sunday, Friday, I went to celebrate recovery. Met Joe Hubbard and Standing in the Gap. On Sunday, I went to church here at Northside Christian Church. It felt like home when I walked in the door. Wednesday, I met Sid. Next Sunday, I got baptized. And in the midst of that, God has changed my life. And I've learned how to surrender to God and all that. And I'm telling you right now, man, if you give it to God, He can do amazing things with you.
All right. Well, Robbie, you know what? We're gonna cut this one now, and we're gonna do a part 2, because I know you have some questions for me.
Oh yeah.
We want the people to understand what it is we're going to do with the show, right? Because we want to talk about the testimonies they're going to hear.
Yeah.
It's just going to be 2 guys on the couch talking about their lives, and so we want to do that. But we're hoping that people now tune in for part 2 of this, so they can kind of get an idea, and then we'll start with the actual on the couch with Robbie Chadbourne with our first interview, and that's going to be with
Keith.
And I imagine Keith, from what I understand, Keith has quite a testimony.
Keith's got a testimony, but you got a testimony too. You know, with you flatlining on a Friday and back in church on Sunday, dude, and the way that you was walking with God, and then how you walk with God now. I mean, your testimony has to be heard too. So you're on the couch with Robbie too, brother.
All right. Well, let's do that next time, Robbie. Thank you so much, and I want people to understand that, you know, you're an amazing guy, Robbie. You've got so much. I can't begin to explain how much you're trusted around here and appreciated. So let's wait till next time. Hopefully people turn in again.
Right on.
Thanks, Robbie.
Love you, man.
Love you too.